to share insights and explore new ideas and collaborate in meaningful ways. Over the course of this event, we hope to inspire and engage you with valuable content, discussion, and the opportunities to connect with others who share your interests and goals. Thank you for being a part of this incredible journey. We look forward to the session and the amazing conversations ahead. Please enjoy the summit. So, we will begin the session with Dr. B. Pavan Kumar. Sir, I hope you are there. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Before you start, I will just give a little introduction about you.
Please do carry on. Hello?
Sir, can you please stop sharing screen so that I can share the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Am I audible now? So, Dr. B. Pavan Kumar is a highly experienced psychologist and educator with a PhD in psychology from Andhra University. With extensive expertise in cognitive behavior therapy, trauma, and special education, he has contributed to numerous research studies and workshops worldwide. He has served as an assistant professor at institutions like Yale University and Jain University, and he is actively involved in professional development programs and international conferences. Dr. Kumar is also a recognized resource person and has earned several awards for his work in psychology and special education. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I hand over the session to you.
Thank you, Shipra. Thank you, Shipra. Good morning, one and all. Can I share my presentation?
Yes, sir, you can.
So here today we are here to discuss several issues among the secondary school students and above. So this is what I hope the presentation will add some uh, concepts of emotional intelligence, which will enhance the abilities of the students, uh, not only for the students, all the professionals, all the individuals who use these two things, the brain and the heart. Okay. If you are using only one, what are the effects that happen? And if you are using both, what significant improvements you can have in your life? Today we are going to discuss in this presentation. Before that, I would like to know like whether my voice is clear,
Yes, sir.
my volume is loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you, Shiv. So when you say emotional intelligence, okay, everyone say they have some common terms, right? We have to be smart, we have to be active, we have to keep ourselves emotionally low or emotionally high. What is it? What is actually emotional intelligence? So, like this picture says, the brain and the heart. These are the two very important things in the human behavior. You behave from the heart also, you behave from the brain also. It's not like you're only using your brain to behave and your heart to react. Okay. Whenever you see a friend, how does your heart responds? And what is the behavior that exhibited when which is indicating that your heart is responding? You smile, right? So our facial tissues expand and we show an expression. That is what it says, like our heart is behaving, not mind. Right. But when you go for a professional meeting, okay, even then when you meet new people, you smile. But is it real? No, that is where when your mind reacts and asks you to smile, extend your facial muscles, please. Okay, so the understanding between the heart and mind both significantly has a important relationship, and how to improve this and make it into a emotional level. So cognition, when cognition is not enough. Okay, so why cognition is not enough? What is there in cognition? So cognition has three aspects. One is thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. Okay. So whatever we think is due to cognition, like a reasoning, our perception, okay, our emotion, our different ways of understanding behaviors, etc. Okay. And behavior is what we behave, how we show ourselves. Okay. The way we sit, the way we stand, the way we express our feelings, the way we move with others is what our behavior, which can be externally seen. Emotions, what we feel. Okay. So, what we feel. So, if we start speaking, or if we start behaving, or if we start thinking, whatever we feel, will it go in the right direction? No, right? It will not go in a right direction. So, for that, what we need is emotional intelligence. So, balancing all these three areas: what we feel, what we think, and how we behave. So, if you can see in this lady's hand, there are two things, and one is under her feet. So, if you take one as thinking and other as emotions, the third one will be the behavior. If these two are balanced, like emotions and thoughts are balanced, automatically your behavior is balanced. And balancing all these three things is what we call emotional intelligence. Okay. Now, what is EI? Okay, what is emotional intelligence? How much important is it? Okay, when you see in this graph, 80% is your EQ and only 20% is your IQ. If a person has an IQ of 120 or 160 even, and he doesn't have an EQ, can he be successful? No, right? Why? Because a person with IQ can solve many problems. A person with a higher IQ can manage many things. Okay. But his management or his IQ, if he is not emotionally controlled, what will happen? Whatever he try to manage gets disrupted. For example, simple thing. What is the difference between Osama bin Laden and Abdul Kalam? Bin Laden is also having 160 IQ. So don't leave Abdul Kalam. Take Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. Osama bin Laden and Mahatma Gandhi. Both are having almost 140 to 160 IQ. But what happened with Mahatma Gandhi and what happened with uh, Osama bin Laden? He became a terrorist, greatest terrorist in the world, who is creating menace in the world. But Mahatma Gandhi, he had fought for the people, he had given fruits, and he made his life to be a remarkable positive effect. So even a person with highest IQ of 160, if there is no EQ, automatically they become distractful. They cannot use their IQ for the positive side of their life. Okay. So in this way, when you are saying even though you have IQ, it's only matters at 20%. Remaining 80% is all depends on your EQ, emotional quotient. So if we are able to understand why it is important, specifically for the students, okay, for the parents, for the teachers, okay, if you are learning through an emotion, you get connected easily. You get connected to the concepts very easily. But if your emotions are not managed, whatever you get connected will help you to destroy something else. Okay, so we can see many people nowadays in this teenage relationships, they look for relationships. Okay, almost 80% of the students they want to get into relationships, but only 2 to 5% of the students react adversely to this relationship, and 20 to 30% of the students spoil their life misunderstanding these relationships. Why? Because they don't have an EQ. A person has EQ, if he is failed in a relationship, he will convert his energies, his all sources of energies towards well-being of the society, well-being of others, well-being of to learn something. His energies he will divert towards studies to forget this relationship problem. But a person with no EQ, okay, emotional coefficient, will convert or take his energies and he starts planning for destruction of other person, which in turn distracts himself because the other person is not accepting the relationship. So our IQ, this is the very regular example for secondary school students. Why? Because this is the age where they learn, where they need to learn how should they work on their EQ, emotional coefficient. Not emotions, emotional coefficient. Emotions are different, emotional coefficient is different. That is what we call emotional intelligence. Right? Now, to generally understand what is emotional intelligence, why we need emotional. So still now we understood what is emotional intelligence. Now we are trying to understand why emotional intelligence. Because it will enhance your career and success potentials. So if you have 10% of potentials, this EQ will add 80%, it will make it 90%. Okay. So your career. So whenever you are in career, always remember if you are trying to build your career, always you need a number of connections. Okay. The more connections you have, the better career you will have. So to improve these connections, you need more emotional intelligence. Improve your personal productivity. So if you want to improve your personal productivity, you need emotional intelligence, seeing everything into a positive side. Increasing job satisfaction. Initially, when you start a job, okay, when you go for a job or when you start a job, and when you're working in some public sector jobs, because why I'm specifically saying public sector means in private sectors, you have opportunity to change, okay, to different locations. But in public sector, there is a very less opportunity. Even though you have a good salary, but if job satisfaction is not there, automatically your mental health will get disturbed. So increasing the job satisfaction, you need this emotional intelligence. Work easily with the demanding clients and team members. Okay, so people are demanding, right? Whoever it may be. It may be your family members, it may be your society, it may be your friends. We cannot satisfy all the demands, but we can make them satisfy with our emotional intelligence, right? For example, for teachers specifically, I want to say, when a parent comes and they ask for their children, and if you say like, if you say straight over what it is there actually, okay, in straight terms, like your son is an idiot, your son is uh, not concentrating on the works, okay, your son is not studying at all, you people are not making him do homework at home. If you say like this, will the parent take it? No, right? But if you ask the same parent, Madam, how much time are you spending with your child to help him in finishing his homework? Are you able to spend time? We are indicating the parent that you have to spend time with your child, but we are asking them, are you able to spend time with your child? We are not asking how much time you're doing. Are you able to do it? మీకు కుదురుతుందా, మీరు చేయగలుగుతున్నారా? Right? So in this way, if you are able to change your sentence, change your words for these demanding clients and demanding team members, your work goes easily. It will help you to understand, enhance your abilities. Okay. Improving work-life balance. See, work is worship. Life is to live. If you are not able to do both, automatically you will be in pain. So it may be any individual, it may be a student. A student, what is the work? He has to finish his grade level works. For a teacher, she has to motivate many students. At the same time, she has to take care, she or he has to take care at home also. So balancing these two is very important, and only with emotional intelligence you can balance your personal life and enjoy your life. If enjoyment is not there in life, definitely you are not living a life. At the same time, you are trying only to enjoy, even that is also not a life. If you are working and you are enjoying the life, even at the workplace and also at the place where you are doing, then only you have personal life. Now here we talk about what type of characteristics are there for this emotional intelligence, right? So these are the characteristics like ability to stay open with feelings, both pleasant and unpleasant. We must be able to experience both the feelings. It might be pleasant or unpleasant. Ability to reflect, engage, and detach from an emotional depending on its judged utility. So always don't connect yourself to too much or too little to people. Okay. So for example, when you are behaving with students, if teachers are there, when you are trying to behave with students, being angry will fetch you more behavior change, or acting anger will fetch you more behavioral change. I come again. Being angry will fetch you the behavioral change in the student, or acting angry will fetch you the behavioral change in the student, which will help you. So if you are judging, you are definitely being angry. But if you are not judging and you are trying to help the students, you act angry. Okay, so acting anger will fetch you more behavioral change in the students than being angry. Okay, not only with the students, there are different situations that will help you to come over. Just right. Then ability to reflect, monitor emotions in relations to oneself and others. So sometimes we have to act, okay, like you are having emotions. Okay? So many times we have to show many different emotions. So when you are trying to show the emotions, automatically the reflexive abilities will help you to make that relationship or connectivity with the people, right? So in this way, the characteristics, if you are able to do all these behaviors or all these changes, automatically it says that you are having emotional intelligence. If you are not able to do this, you need to practice. Then how to practice? Knowing one's emotions, we must have self-awareness and recognition of our emotions. If we are not able to recognize our emotions, if we are not able to name the emotion what we are feeling, we cannot understand the emotion. Okay. So if you people are from psychology background or even in teachers, if you go for this platonic wheel of emotions, you can understand the different names of emotions. And in your general life, every day you feel these all emotions. Carefully observe what are the signs and symptoms. Carefully observe how different each emotion is and how, at what instant you are able to feel that emotion. The second thing, managing your emotion. If you are not able to control your emotion, even you want to show it also, you have to show it. If you see how intensified the emotion should be shown, the intensity of emotion also has to be controlled. For example, you have to speak loud. How will you uh, practice? When you are using the more air into your stomach and your lungs, automatically your voice is loud. If you are not taking the deep breath, your voice will not become loud enough. Right? So, if you want to have a loud voice, you need to take a deep breath. If you want to show aggression, if you want to act aggressive, you don't need to show aggression, but you need to act aggressive. What are the different symptoms that an aggressive person has? Loud voice, okay, very open facial expressions, bright eyes. If you know them and if you are controlling them, that is called managing emotions. Without your knowledge, if this is happening, that is you are expressing emotion. Okay. So when emotional intelligence is there, you will be managing your emotion. If emotional intelligence is not there, you will be showing your emotion. Then the third point is motivating oneself, the ability to channelize emotions in the service of goal. So you are having, see, for example, they say this women, when they are angry, they do a lot of work at home. Your utensils get cleaned and they will be very fine than ever before. Your clothes will be getting clean because the way they wash them with full energy. Okay. So in this way, if you are able to channelize your emotions towards positive goals, automatically you have a greatest change of serving your goals. Okay. When you are very angry or when your mood is disturbed, complete the tasks that are pending. When you are happy, when you are happy and you want to be, try to make new goals, new fresh goals. Okay. When you are having negative emotions, try to complete the incomplete tasks. When you are happy, create new goals. This is how we get motivated by ourselves. Because when you are completing some pending work, automatically you feel contentment. Okay, contentment. Okay. At the same time, when you are creating new goals, also you feel content. So, in these two occasions, you are motivating yourself. So, channelizing your emotions is also very important. And the most important and very particular in emotional intelligence is recognizing emotions in others. If you are speaking, you are not understanding others' emotions. But when you are talking, you understand the emotions of others. So there is a difference between speaking and talking. So are you talking to others or are you speaking to others? If you're talking, you are, like for example, they say, are you discussing or are you arguing? If you're doing an argument, you are just speaking. But when you are discussing, you are talking to others. That means you will be able to understand the others' emotions, the way they're feeling about their words, the way they are expressing with different body languages, you will able to observe. Basically, when you come to students or when you come to teaching, it is very important to understand the student. It is very important to give the emotional name to the behavior of the student. If you cannot name his emotion, you cannot help the student to come out of it. Being teachers, okay, being different educationists, the important aspect, even being a counselor, if you are not able to understand the emotion of the other person and you are judging his emotions by his words, not by his feelings or not by his behavior, definitely you are going in a wrong path. Words matters only 10%, right? So handling in relationships, so managing emotions in others. So if you are able to recognize emotions, automatically you will be able to handle this. Now, what is the difference between a person with high IQ and high EQ? So these are the differences. People are very critical, considerate, inhibited, uncomfortable with sensuality, emotionally bland, like a terrorist. People with high EQ, they are very poised, outgoing, committed to people and causes, sympathetic and caring, comfortable with themselves. Now, if you want to improve your emotion or emotional coefficient or emotional intelligence, you need to understand these five components. What are these five components and how to develop them? First one is self-awareness, managing emotions, motivating ourselves, empathy, and social skills. Okay. So I'm coming again. Self-awareness, managing emotions, motivation ourselves, empathy, and social skills. Now, what is self-awareness? When you are able to recognize your patterns of behavior and motives, with what motivation you are speaking to others, what is your behavior pattern, what are your emotions and what are your actions, and how they are impacting on the others. Okay. Also, what are your triggers? What is triggering your behavior? Identifying your strengths and also seeing your own limitations. If you are able to observe all of these things in your behavior, in your conversations about yourself, you are having self-awareness. If you're not able to do all these things, start recognizing them. Make a point. See, initially for for some months or some days, okay, for some days or for a few days, you must be able to put it on the paper. See, practice means putting on the paper. Being a psychologist, being a teacher, when you are trying to understand yourself or about others, sorry, when you are trying to understand yourself or when you are trying to understand others, it is very important to put it on the paper. Initial phases, when you start practicing about all these things, for some days, it is very difficult task. But after completing of 3 or 4 times of the self-awareness, fifth time you don't need a pencil and paper. Sixth time you automatically remember. Seventh time you automatically feel it. Eighth time onwards, it becomes a part and part of your behavior. So if you say that, okay, I'm having self-awareness, no. First time you write it on the paper. That is what it will clearly give you how you are understanding your what self-awareness you are having about yourself. Right. The next one is managing emotions. That is self-regulation. How to control yourself. If you can self-regulate, your emotional reactions are in proportion to the given circumstances. See, all the times we don't need to answer, even though we know the questions, we know the answers. Every time we don't need to answer until unless the question is towards yourself or it is open to all. Okay, so this is generally what we say. The same way, every time you don't need to react or show your emotions, or if you want to show also how much extent is important. Okay, how much extent is it important? So to that particular extent, you show your emotions. Taking pauses, very important in counseling sessions. Specifically, if you are a psychologist here, they say this. You need you come when you are going with the counseling sessions. Taking pauses is very important. Okay. In the same way, taking pause for yourself before reacting is very important because this pause will help you to control your impulses. This pause will help you to reframe your words. If somebody is talking stupid, you can straight away say, you are talking very stupid. Or you can nicely say, okay, your way of speaking is not polite. Or your way of speaking is not in a manner. Or even though more politely, some people very convincingly say, you are giving very good speech, but it is not necessary for me right now. That is also means that you are stupid. మీరు బాగా చెప్తున్నారు కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఇది అవసరం లేదు. So in this way, this pause will help you to regulate your emotions, to use proper words for these emotions. Okay, and before you act, you have to think of the consequences. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry for this break. Okay, so this is about self-regulation. So initially we spoke about self-awareness. Now we are speaking about self-regulation. Third one is motivation. There are two types of motivation. One is intrinsic motivation. Another one is extrinsic motivation. Motivating, getting motivated by others. Internally developing motivation. Okay. Intrinsic motivation happens by achievements. Extrinsic motivation happens by awards and rewards. So you have to plan both. If you are not having rewards and awards, if you are not planning to get rewards and awards, you are not having extrinsic motivation. If you are not intended to take rewards or awards, you are not having intrinsic motivation. So both are important in managing yourself and getting inspired. Okay, by looking at others. Having this motivation will help you to manage your emotions. For example, all of us know when we are young, like in the middle ages, in adolescent age, we want pocket money. We earn money for parties, for a birthday party or something. What we used to do? We used to go behind mommy or daddy. Whatever they say, we used to do. Even the scold us like you are stupid, you are not doing homework, you are not doing this. We try to convince parents by pleasing them in different forms, right? That is motivation. We are motivated to get that money for party. And for that, we keep our moods and emotions in control. In the same way, whenever you want to accomplish your tasks, you must have that intrinsic motivation. The example what I gave may be a small general example, but we use the same thing in different contexts, right? To convince people to improve our relationship, to improve the success ratio. Okay. Being empathetic, understanding others' emotions, self-interested or but not self-centered. So we try to walk miles with others. We try to experience the emotions that are felt by others, what is happening in their life, by understanding their experiences, by imagining how bad they are feeling or how good they are feeling, by composing ourselves to feel their uh, problems or paths. Then social skills, resolving conflicts, handling relationships. If we are not able to develop these social skills of resolving conflicts and handling relationships, we cannot have show our emotional intelligence. So for this, what you should have? You should be having a welcoming in conversation, using active listening, eye contact, verbal communication skills, open body language. These are the effective uh, points that improve your social skills. Even developing a good rapport with others. Okay. Giving calls occasionally, even though you don't have any with, because if you are not able to build up your networks, definitely it is not a good sign of success. Okay, so still now we saw what are the different, the five important elements in improving emotional intelligence. So this is still now we saw all the things, but these are proven in scientific manner by Goldman's emotional intelligence. Okay, these are the domains they worked on, and these are the emotional competency framework they worked on, and we discussed these points basing on this Goldman's theory. Right. Now, again, we come back once again, the four components, how they are framed, awareness and regulation. These are the two important components what Goldman indicates that we need to focus on. Okay. And where do we have to have this awareness and regulation? In self and social relationships. So we should have self-awareness, we should have social awareness, we should have self-management, and we should have relationship management, that is social management or relationship management. You know what are the different things we need to control? The terms are here, the points are here. So working on these things, for example, I'll take one box, self-awareness, emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment. We must be able to accurately measure ourselves. See, when you are expressing emotions, how is your face also you must be able to see it. Not only when you are happy, but when your face is angry, or when you are communicating, how your facial expression, are your facial expression indicating anything? Sometimes people try to smile, but we can clearly see that they are not interested with this conversation. So such kind of facial expressions doesn't help. Because that is not emotional intelligence. So in this manner, people with this kind of self-awareness, okay, or self-management, or relationship management, or social awareness. Okay, if they are not in these terms, automatically they are low in their emotional intelligence. So 10% of the conflict is due to difference in opinion, and 90% is due to delivery and tone of voice. How many of you accept this? If I give a poll right now, okay, to say whether this is right or wrong, I will get 100% result, right? Why? Because we all know that only 10% is the real conflict, and remaining 90% is the problem in delivery of this problem, right? So this is a linear bar of emotional social intelligence, how the emotional intelligence turns into social intelligence. If you are having self-perception, you will become emotional and social function. Okay. So here I am giving you with self-perception, like self-regard, self-actualization, emotional self-awareness. Okay. Then self-expression. See, because I am out of time, I am quickly completing this. Shipra, do I have some time?
Yes, sir. You can continue with the session. You can take 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say emotional social intelligence, okay, uh, emotional intelligence will help for ourselves. Okay. So for individual to be happy, emotional intelligence is enough. But if you need success, you need emotional social intelligence. In this, we have stress management, stress perception, self-expression, interpersonal relationships, and decision making. If you are able to concentrate on these 5 areas, you will have success. Right. Now, in self-perception, the first thing what comes is self-regard, with respect to oneself and self-confidence. See, emotional intelligence doesn't say that uh, you will be handling a one-way emotion, right? I'm very sorry for this breaks. So, when you say like you're emotionally intelligent, you are not disregarding your respect. Keeping your respect intact without losing your respect, you have to get things done. So for this, self-perception is very important. Then self-actualization, like pursuit of meaning and self-improvement. Why we are trying to have this improvement. Then emotional self-awareness, understanding our own emotions. Then self-expression, emotional expressions, like constructive and accurate expression of emotions, effectiveness, and independence. So these are all the different factors that we need to communicate. Then interpersonal relationships, when mutually satisfying relationships are there, automatically you have this progress, like empathy and social responsibility are also the important factors in interpersonal relationships. Right. Then decision making, In decision making, what are the important concepts? The problem solving, the reality testing, and impulse control. These are the three very important tasks in decision making. First, you take a decision to solve your problem. For example, you need to select a career. Now, what is your problem? Choosing a appropriate career. Now, to solve this problem, okay, choosing a career is emotionally related and also financially related and also socially related and also cognitively related. If you are not satisfied with your cognition, like you are having a great opportunity to use your skills, mind skills, definitely whatever the money you get, whatever the social you get are not happy. So problem solving is important. Then reality testing. How much possibility is there to do this? Okay, if you are, for example, a person with physical disability, he is not able to walk by legs, and he want to participate in a running race. Can he do it? Definitely not. The reality says no, but he can participate in Paralympics, which are conducted for specially physically handicapped or all the special needs individual. So reality testing says that if you're not able to do it, be confident that you are not able to do it. Okay, and strongly say it. Then impulse control is very important. If you are not able to control your impulses, see, we see as teachers, we see many students in 10th standard they choose one profession, in intermediate they choose one profession, and in engineering, before joining engineering they choose one more profession. After finishing a fourth year, they will say, why did I choose this engineering course? If they are not able to If they are not able to control their impulses, automatically it's not leading to a positive direction. Right? So decision making, you must have impulse control. Then automatically stress management, it is equally important for all the individuals. Okay. So what does why emotional intelligence is needed for secondary school students, specifically secondary school students? Because it gives brain and body to go to a lot of development, and to handle these developments, they need emotional intelligence. Emotions are not balanced for these students, so they have to learn how to balance these emotions, because this is the right age for the students to develop themselves as professionals. They choose a career, they start developing themselves as a professionals, and to become a professional, the major bodily characteristics or the attitude of the professional comes, or the basic stone starts at this particular secondary age. Okay. And if anyone is suffering with some mental disorders, it is easy for them to come out, because at this age it is very easy and they can come out of this mental disorder. Confusion, 90% of the secondary age is in confusion. To get clarity, they need emotional intelligence. Okay. Now, how does the emotional intelligence helps? What are the advantages of emotional intelligence for secondary students? So these are all the different advantages, like giving confidence, positivity in attitude, managing their pressure, reducing stress levels, learning from mistakes. If they are not learning to learn from mistakes, okay, I'm coming again. If they are not learning to learn from mistakes, they will not have a success. They should learn to learn from mistakes. Increasing creativity, improving their communicative skills, etc., etc., etc. And lastly, imparting resilience. If students are not taught to improve their resilience. Automatically, they will not have the ability to cope from the adversities. If they see a problem, they should be take it as a challenge. But if they suffer and they go down, they will not learn anything. They will not develop coping skills. Right? Mm. These are 9 emotional strategies which promote emotional intelligence. First one is taking time for mindfulness. Okay. Recognizing and naming emotions. Particularly, every emotion has a name, and they must be able to specify the name in a very clear manner. Understanding the causes of feelings. What is causing you this feeling? Differentiating between the emotion and the need to take action. For all emotions, you don't need to act, right? So they must be able to differentiate this. Preventing depression through learning optimism. Okay. And managing anger through learning behaviors and distracting techniques. They must be able to manage their angers. Listening from the lessons of feelings. Okay. So all feelings give you particular lesson, and from that they must be able to listen. Using gut feelings in decision making. They must be able to take these gut feelings and they must go forward. Okay. I'll tell you one example for this gut feelings. I don't know how realistic or how you will take it, but my brother has a corporate office, and one of my friend is working with him from past 14 years. Okay. So when my friend joined my brother's company, his salary was a minimum 5,000, nearly 5,000 salary. And after 5 years, I think his salary was 15 to 20,000. Even I started my career when my friend started, but my salary at that time was almost the same what my friend started. But after some time, my salary stayed the same or a little bit improved, like not a big improvement, very little improvement was there. But by the time I was doing my PhD, okay, when my friend was drawing a 15,000, 20,000 salary, I was doing my PhD. And my brother said, okay, see your friend, he is improving his your salary, and you are just keep on studying, you are doing nothing. But today, after 10 years, my salary is almost a 5-figure salary. Okay, and my friend is still in that 40,000. So when you're taking that decisions, okay, not listening to my brother and not started working and working on my decisions had brought me towards my success. Okay, so this is how the gut feelings. So you must make the students to understand what is the reality in their gut feelings. We should not say they should not follow their gut feelings. We must still make them to understand if they are having these gut feelings, how they should improve. And understanding these gut feelings in a proper direction can be possible only with emotional intelligence. Right? Only with emotional intelligence. An immature emotion cannot have gut feelings. Okay. Have few questions or suggestions in chat box. I will answer them after this session, right? And lastly, developing listening skills. If we are not able to listen to others, we are not having this emotional intelligence, because only listening will help you more information, and information helps you to choose a proper decision. Am I clear? If you are not able to listen, you are not having information. If you are not having information, you are not developing. Now, these are the some signs of emotional intelligence. If you are developing these things, or if you are able to recognize any of these things or few of these things, the number of things gives you the percentage of your emotional intelligence. If you are identifying and describing your feelings or others' feelings, you have emotional intelligence. If you are aware of your personal strengths and limitations also, not only strengths but also limitations, having self-confidence and self-acceptance, if you are having this, okay, if you are able to accept what is in reality, okay, you will be confident. Okay, see, I'll take this opportunity to talk about the cinema actors, okay, who are very black but who becomes heroes and heroines. Okay, if you see all the movie actors, okay, all the movie actors, 60% of the heroes and heroines are black. They are not dark black, but they are black. Only 40%, in 40%, only 10% are white. Okay, and 30% are in average color. But if you see the success ratio of the heroes who are highly renowned, most of them are black and they're not having even proper body proportions also. But why they are successful? Because they accept themselves as they are. And they allow the makeup man or the director to help them to show themselves beautiful. Many of us, we don't accept ourselves. Many of the students, they are secondary students, they are not at all ready to accept their actual selves. Only if we are able to accept ourselves, only then we will allow someone else to give a makeup to us and we will be in the limelight. If students are not listening to the parents and teachers, they are not having self-acceptance. If they have self-acceptance, they will definitely listen to teachers, they will definitely listen to parents because they should know that they need a makeover. Okay, and the ability to let go of mistakes. You did a mistake, okay, no problem. I did a mistake, accept it and let it go. Do another mistake, no problem. Okay, doing mistakes is not a problem. Doing wrong things again and again is a problem. And ability to accept and embrace change, a strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people, feeling of empathy and concern of others, showing sensitivity to feelings of other people, accepting responsibility for mistakes, and the ability to manage emotions in different situations. So these are all the different signs of emotional intelligence. So to conclude, you need academic achievement, which is a cognitive domain. You need positive attitude, empathy, and mental health, which is the affective domain, that is emotional area. Increase creativity, that is physical activity, that is a cognitive domain. All this can be improved by emotional intelligence. If they are improved, you will have improved individual development, social development, and national development. Okay. So if you are having these three improvements together are possible only with emotional intelligence. And when you're having all these three, you will have individual development, social development, and national development. So what we can say is the beauty of colors are being seen only in a rainbow. That means when you have a mixture of colors, only then it becomes a picture. If you see each color individually, you can see only colors. You cannot see pictures or paintings. So emotions are these colors. Mix them, use them appropriately, and make it into a beautiful picture. So thank you one and all. I hope my presentation has given you the information what you are looking for. If you need any other help, please contact me on this following address and I will be available.
Thank you so much, sir. We
Thank
have
you.
couple of questions.